Hi, this is Robert from BizHackz Systems. Last time we talked about why growth starts to strain versus collapse. Now we're going to do part 2. Architecture decides whether growth holds or breaks. Last time we looked at strain is not collapse or failure. And this time we're going to talk about why. People blame execution. Who messed up? What tool failed? What strategy is off? These are all questions that you're asking too late. It's too late because you didn't set your structure. Now you're going down the wrong road. You've taken the wrong road. When strain arrives, when you start feeling that strain, the issue is not your performance. It's your design. Again, you're going down the wrong road. You've got to set your foundation and your destination correctly. You got to look at where you are, where you're going, how you're going to get there. You just can't kind of go. Design issues aren't overcome by effort. It's not how much work you put into it. You can't overwork yourself out of a bad platform, foundation, plan. You can't. You've got to get your plan and your structure set. There's a name for what's missing, and that's called system architecture. It's not technical. And system architecture is how decisions, actions, and information move through your business. What is your process flow of getting all of that information moving to where you need it to be? And is it working for you? If you don't set that structure up, you're just going to meander through everything. Pieces are going to fall off the wheelbarrow as things are going through your process. You're going to lose a lot. And it's going to be a bad experience for everybody. You, your customers, the whole thing. So and this is all about where things connect. Where they connect, where they depend on each other. How is the handoff? You're going through this phase and you're going to hand it off to the next phase. And how it breaks under pressure. If architecture is not clear, then growth equals chaos. It's just a disaster. You just keep putting band-aids on things, and the more you grow, the more you have band-aided systems. And then you're in such a hole you can't even see how you have all these band-aided systems. You can't even figure out where to start to clean it up. Even if you bring in a consultant, it's such a mess. You gotta get your structure first, your architecture. If it is clear, then growth is boring. Oh, we made more money. Look at that, another order. Team handle it. We shipped it out. Customer's happy. Got good recommendations. More orders are coming. Nice and easy. That's how it should be. Boring is good. So this is where many businesses get stuck. By buying better tools, they hope for stability. They say, well, maybe this tool is going to make it better. But it's not the tool, it's the process. How does the tool bring you in your system, and how do you take the results of the tool and put it out from your system? Does your structure even allow that? But tools are not equal to structure. They sit inside of the structure. No architecture, and you're adding tools. That amplifies confusion. You can't see the forest through the trees eventually. And with architecture, simple tools feel powerful. My gosh, I just saved all this time because I got this cool tool. It could be AI, whatever, but it saved a bunch of steps. And it's not tech, it's not technology you're using, it's the design of how the process flow allows. And even to the point, if you do get a tool to work within your system, you've got a process, the tools keep changing, technology keeps changing, but they should still solve the problem within that process. So you have some flexibility. And the irony here is, early on, your instinct works. And later on, your instinct feels like risk. It is a risk. And then more irony is, when growth adds weight, you lose the feel. It weighs so much that you can't make the contact with it anymore. You don't have that intimate relationship with everything coming in and out. When you're building the business, you're seeing, okay, this goes in here and that goes in there, and here's the flow and here's the check. But then when you put staff into it, you get a couple people in this process, you can't see it coming in and you can't see it coming out, and you don't know where the handoff is, and you don't know they're not clear. Where are your checks and balances to make sure that that flow is there? You need an architecture to set that up. And then only architecture decides if growth bends or breaks your system. Do you have enough of a foundation? Imagine building a bridge, a big interstate bridge with an overpass with a couple telephone poles. You need some beef. You got to be able to handle the movement, the flexibility. So the real answer is, why does architecture matter once growth begins? Growth adds weight. Architecture determines weight if it's supportive or if it's destructive. If you don't design it right, it's going to break everything. And you're going to end up putting band-aids on things where you see the problem. Maybe it's in a couple processes down, but you didn't see that the process broke because of the architecture in this process. Effort moves things forward. That's the real answer. You've got to put in the effort. Architecture decides if they stand or fall. Everybody's putting forth the effort, but is it in the right direction, and does it have the architecture to hold it up to get you where you want to be? I'd appreciate it if you hit the like button. I enjoy doing this for you guys, and look forward to the next one.